All right, so Reese, greetings. We're on to a new public domain old movie that everybody can watch for free. And this time it's Diabolique, which is a French film.
It is. Diabolique was a French film from 1955. It was directed by Henri Georges Clouzot, and I think a lot of people don't know it because it's from 1955 and it's French.
Yeah, that's true. And we can talk about this a little bit too. It's interesting that it's termed horror. I don't know if it would be called horror nowadays.
No, it's very much a thriller.
Yeah,
And I don't know that it was remade in 93 or something like that.
right. With a big cast like Kathy Bates and other
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
And I remember watching it then, and when I was done with it, I was like, eh. Because it wasn't because it was like, it's mostly because there's nothing overly intriguing about the villains in this film, and in the end, they get away with it.
It's more. It felt more like an Agatha Christie murder mystery with. And people could argue they plot to kill somebody and then they do. So that's the horrific part. But then it turns into a Columbo show.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at it from the perspective of the 1950s, like, spoiler alert. In fact, one of the things when the posters for this movie were up, it said at the thing, like, watch, but don't tell anyone about it so that you could keep the ending a surprise. So I'm about to ruin that for you.
It's 80 years. If you haven't seen it in 80 years, I'm sorry.
But when the guy sits up, the dead guy sits up, I can see where in the 1950s that would have been like a horrific prospect.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it was interesting. I've had this discussion with others where I said, I don't really consider this horror. I could see it's got some horrific elements and people could. And they said, people are dying. I'm like, dear God, people die in Westerns. Those aren't horror, except for the couple we've seen. So just being plotting to kill somebody and not doesn't necessarily make it horror. But I love how they use the term devilish, diabolical, which helps give it that horror ring and probably drew audiences into it in the 50s.
Yeah, it was based on a novel written by Pierre Boileau and Thomas Narcejac called Who Was No More. And when Clouseau wanted to get a hold of this, the rights for it, he beat Alfred Hitchcock by that much
Right.
because Hitchcock heard about it and wanted to get the rights to it. And this guy just beat him out. And those guys afterwards felt badly that Hitchcock missed out. And so they wrote a new novel for him called D'entre les Morts, From Among the Dead. And he filmed it and turned it into Vertigo.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Which doesn't have any real horror significance to it, though
No, but it's
the book title does.
that Hitchcockian kind of, yeah. And as you would have in, say, a French novel from the 20th century, there is a lesbian element to it. In the 1990s version, that shows up. In the 1955 version, it does not.
It's hinted at almost.
Maybe slightly, not it's certainly not overt.
Yeah, it was an interesting movie. There were a couple parts that made me chuckle. This guy's been missing for 3 days and nobody really cares.
He was
Like,
a
oh,
D-bag, I get it.
yeah, exactly.
Everyone's
Oh,
just
he's
glad he's
missing.
gone. But it's got this kind of cool little thing. His wife, Vera Clouseau, plays Christina, who is the ingenue in this film, and Simone Signoret plays Nicole. Signoret, when she signed up for it, signed up for an 8-week commitment, and that's all she was being paid for. And the film took 16 weeks to record. So she was screwed out of 8 weeks worth of work. And apparently, the arguments between her and Henri Clouseau were very loud, brash, not unlike the relationship portrayed in the film, where it just seemed like he was bullying her around, but she was only going to stand for so much. And then,
Interesting.
oddly enough, Vera Clouseau, when at the age of 46, died of an undiagnosed heart ailment. She had a heart
Wow.
attack and just dropped dead, not unlike her character in the film.
Right. Wow. King has always said he'd to write a story where someone dies when reading it. So they had this whole plot to make a fake murder to kill somebody. I really wonder how the inspector really pinned it on him later. Because how do you prove somebody scared somebody to death and killed them?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It was really odd because apparently the interaction between the 3 of them was a real mirror of the actual story itself between
Interesting.
Clouseau and his wife and Ray, so
Though I did think at the end when the slingshot kid Moynet said, "Oh, I saw her. She gave this to me." I was like, "Ah, is it a triple double take?" And she's
super
faking.
twist.
She wanted out of it, so she faked dying so that she could get out of it. Let them go. Who cares? And that gave it that Hitchcock feel right there between the double thing and then that ending.
Yeah, like I said, you can see it's an important film because of when it came out and the trends that it set. It's well done. I just didn't particularly care for the story myself, but that's gonna happen sometimes, and it's you can tell for sure it's not this because in the remake in '93, I didn't care for the story then either, and they're very similar.
Not saying that, but it's not an uncommon type of story. Plotting to kill somebody, a double take on that stuff. It's very Hitchcock and, like I said, Agatha Christie, and how many Columbo episodes or Jessica Fletcher or Monk or anybody
Yeah,
else.
right, yeah. If you've
So,
seen on TV any crime movie, this is pretty much it.
but any of those TV shows, it's 50 minutes less time to get the same story told. So
Right.
this did drug a little bit at times. It was a little extended to me, it felt.
And I'm glad to hear you say that because this one and the '93 version, they both felt like they drug for me, and I just kept thinking, maybe it's just because 'cause I'm not really enjoying it, and
The one
but
horror part, though, at the end, when they were messing with her mind, Christina's mind, and she was really starting to freak out, that definitely had a bit of horror feel to it because of the tension and wondering, is it a ghost? Especially like the school picture with him in the window. I'm like, oh my God, how many of those are floating around on the internet nowadays? So yes, I can see where they could say it's got some horror elements and has a bit of horror feel, but it's more of a thriller with a backstabbing going on. Not even so much a mystery, though it fits that too a little bit.
yeah, it does, and the surprise is there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was okay. Do I want to go watch it again later? Probably not. So we saw
Yeah,
it. We're good.
yeah, the amount of time between me seeing the '93 version and this one, about 20 years, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Next on our public domain side dish list, we've got
Ooh,
Night of the Demon coming. And
good
honestly,
one.
I don't know anything about that one. We'll have to see what it's like once we get it and watch it.
Cool.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, and we'll be doing for everyone paying attention. We're on season 6. We'll get started with that here pretty soon too.
Oh, yeah,
Finishing up.
we're getting rolling on that.
Yep, finishing up one missed call up on the website. We'll have our bonus going up soon. So
Awesome.
yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
See ya.